Okay. Okay. Recording for online. I'm testing out a new audio setup. Come join me. Come join me. Use Q&A or comment or tweet me. All right. Okay, testing 1, 2. New control room, this and that. Testing 1, 2. Little swift. Testing 1, 2. Little slow. Introducing control room. Okay. Jack any bad actors. Okay. Her. Testing. Okay, alright. Shall we start the show? Shall we start the show? What is it called? It is 464. Okay, 4. What the hell? 464. Chrome. It's got Gurn. 464. Online podcast. 464. Okay. You get to see the behind the scene. I don't usually do this. I don't usually do Hangout on air, but because I want to test out the new audio setup that I just now got, which I can probably talk a little bit about after the show started. Okay. Hello, testing. Testing. 1, 2. Okay. Ready? Are we ready? Ongline Podcast 464. Hello there, ladies and gentle whores. Thank you for listening. I am John Ong, and you're listening to Online Podcast. And once again, thank you for welcoming me back into your ear holes. Once again, now that I'm doing a show again. So I stopped doing a show since I talked to Richard Bluestein, the person behind Madge Weinstein, the Yeast Radio, 2 weeks ago, I believe. And because the following week I went to Wichita, I was out of town, so I wasn't able to do a show, or was too lazy to do a show after driving back from Wichita. I have family there. And okay, so I'm actually recording on Google Hangout as well, which means this will probably have a YouTube video to the show if I choose to post it. I don't know, we'll see. So that's lots to talk about. The first thing that I want to get it out of the way is I am participating in Pride 48 again. I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to do it a ding the bell, but I am doing a whatchamacallit. Oh wait, I'm hearing this buzzing. Ooh, I hate this. Did you guys hate this? Ugh. Okay, anyway, I may have to mess with that a little later. That's why I do a test show. So anyway, I was going to not do a show on Pride 48, but then with all this new setup that I have in the studio, I thought, it's kind of nice, this new setup that I want to do a live show with the Pride 48 bunch again. Now it's always fun to do Pride 48 in at home. So there are two events of Pride 48. One is in June, where during Pride Month, where everybody does their own shows in their own home studio, and then just broadcast it to the interwebs, and then people would just tune in, just like how the original Pride 48 idea came about. So that's back to the roots, right? That's what we do, and since did I participate every year or at least every year in the live show? And but the Bell, unfortunately, Miss the Bell was not able to do it because she's unable to do it. So I decided to. At first, I thought I was just gonna like skip it and not do it, but then I kind of talked to a friend of mine in Malaysia who's also a podcaster, and I thought maybe he could join in with me and do some Asian shows before the crowd comes. And so technically, I'm still participating, but I don't have to carry the whole show by myself. I don't know why I was nervous about that because I never was. But I think part of that is because people are used to Ding the Bell now, and I know how Ding the Bell is very uh, what is it? It's very upbeat. It's very fun. A lot of energy, and online isn't. Online is just a straight on journal. Um, my life diary journal type show. So it's a little low key. But regardless, I think I'm gonna do Ding the Bell, Ding the Lucheng, and possibly even Penang Hokkien, a little bit a combination of all the Asian shows. And I'll probably talk to my listeners in Malaysia and see if they're interested in coming to support and uh, listen to the live stream. It'll be at the same time as my typical Penang Hokkien recording, so hopefully people will be able to show up and support the show. So that's that. Let me talk about dates then. I think that's happening in June the 20th. The 20th is when the Pride 48 broadcast would start. It starts at 8:30 Eastern Time, which means it's 7 Central and 6:30 Pacific Time. On June 20th, 21st, and the 22nd. Now, and part of the reason why I was hesitant to join was because I have many activities that weekend. I actually have to sing for a wedding on the 21st, and then I also sing early morning on Sunday. So I was trying to not do too much, but I decided to go ahead and do an early morning Central Time, early morning on the 21st, which is on a Saturday. And I'll remind you again if I remember to do a show. I'll do that on the 21st, so which is the morning. It's like 8 a.m. So hence I'm calling it an Asian hours because the likelihood of all of y'all to be awake at that time to listen to the show is highly unlikely. Therefore, I don't count on my online listeners listening, and so I will just do an Asian show. But we'll see. We'll see. If you want to wake up and listen to us, you could, because I'll probably be mixing in and out English and other languages, just because of the crowd. There might be people in the chat room getting ready for the next show, which I am actually preceding. I'm the show before Head M. And who is this person that I actually am very fascinated? I follow him on Twitter. I listen to his shows. Does he still do a show? I used to listen to his show, the Angry Pantry. I don't know if he does a show regularly anymore. But anyway, so that's that. The 21st, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. I would definitely be listening to all the shows. A huge list of podcasters participating, And if you can join and tune in, definitely do that. Now, if you are an online listener and if you want to listen to all the shows from Friday through Sunday, the best way to do that is probably using, if you're at home using your computer, it's fine, just go to pride48.com. Or if you want to listen to it mobily, like me, I want to be able to just like tune in, catch a little bit here and there while I'm out and about because I have so many things on Saturday and Sunday. You can still do that by downloading this app called TuneIn Radio. TuneIn Radio, there are two versions. There's TuneIn Radio, which is free, and TuneIn Radio Pro, which is ad-free. So one of the two you can pick. I just have the free one. And then you can then look for Pride 48 and you'll be able to find that station and you can tune in anytime you want to. You can actually set an alarm for it to remind you when the show, right before the show starts. So that's pretty cool. I used that to listen to the State of the Station earlier with Pride 48 with the planning bunch. They were talking about what they wanted to do and what technical stuff we need to do, blah, 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 blah. So that's June 20th, 21st, and 22nd, Pride 48. I will be participating early US time, starting from 8 or 9 o'clock. I haven't decided yet, on the 21st of June. So, that's that. So, since I did the last show, what happened? What happened? Okay, so there's one. Did I talk about this already? Why did I think I talked about this so many times already? Maybe I talked about it on a different show. I can't remember. So one day, it was still kind of cold and a little windy and cold, and I had a long sleeve shirt, it's actually like a t-shirt, but long sleeve t-shirt. And I have that shirt on, and I walk into the elevator, not thinking too much about it. And I walked into the elevator and saw this woman in the elevator, whom I have not met before. But she's very well. She's smiling, so I smiled back, and then I. So the weather is kind of nice. It's a little cool, a little crisp for a typical May morning. But it's nice, right? I enjoyed it. I like that kind of cooler weather. So I walked into the elevator, and that woman looked at me and smiled, and she said something, and this is what I heard. The weather is very nice. And then I immediately answered, "Oh yeah, I know." And then as soon as I said that, as soon as I said, "Yeah, I know," immediately I realized she was actually saying, "You look very nice." So can you imagine the answer to somebody complimenting you? You look very nice, and you say, "I know," instead of saying thank you. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, well, I embarrassed myself. I was so embarrassed, and I didn't know what to do. I think I managed to say, I, uh, yeah, I know. Oh, thank you. I think I said thank you. Even though I said I know it's already too late, I thought I heard she said the weather's very nice because I was just thinking about the weather coming from the outside, walking into the work building. So it was so embarrassing. I think I tweeted it. I can't remember when I tweeted it, but I that's one thing that I thought, oh my gosh, that's something I'm gonna have to share with you because how embarrassing is that when somebody complimenting you and you said I know instead of thank you. But it's one of those moments where I cannot backpedal. Like I feel like if I were to try or attempt to backpedal, it would just sound worse. So I just left it there. Oh, somebody's listening. I have one person listening. Who is this? Um, I was expecting to be having zero viewer the whole time through, but I actually have somebody listening. Maybe I should put my microphone this way so you can actually see me a little bit. But if you're listening live on Google Plus, if you want to, you can participate. You can talk to me. You can use the she wanted you. Huh? Who? Somebody said. Okay, who's this? Timothy Chaldry. Oh, Timothy. Oh gosh, you wanted you were referring to the woman in the elevator. Oh, Timothy, you're so sweet. I don't think so. Okay, so I just now responded to Q&A. So you can use the Q&A to interact with me like Timothy just did. Dude, she wanted you, LOL, he said. So yeah, thank you. I was like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? I forgot that I just told that story. So yeah. That's that. And okay, so what else I want to tell you? There's so many things sometimes they're like there's nothing. Sometimes there's just like one whole week went by and all I can remember about that one past week was just work. And I don't talk about work. So there's nothing to talk about outside of work. But this time around I have so many things to talk about. So okay, so the next thing was this are all individual little bits and pieces stories. In fact, what I did was this is how I do my notes anymore these days is I go back to my tweets and I look through my tweets and then see what I tweeted about and then figure out what I want to talk about. So by the way, you guys, I've been doing pretty well on what Instagram. I've been doing pretty well on Instagram. I can't remember. I can't. I mean, I've been pretty prolific, I'd say, and it's kind of nice. I felt like I already use Flickr, I already use Twitter. I told you this, and I don't want to have another account, but I'm treating my Instagram entries to be something that's a little bit fancier. It's a little bit like my photography, uh, 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 social media, I guess. So yeah. Oh, by the way, um, this past Friday, Bruce and I celebrated our 16th anniversary. Yes, 16th anniversary. So we've been together for 16 years, and he was so sweet. He surprised me with this really cool. I don't know if I can show you without like pulling the cable off of everything. So this is my studio. Oh shit! I just hit my microphone. Okay, so he got, I can't even, I don't know if you can see this. So he got me what is it, an audio equipment rack. And I can put all my audio equipment now onto this one tidy rack. And then the keyboard, not keyboard, but the mixer slides out and I can actually push it back in. So everything goes back in tidy and there's a power strip, surge protected power strip built into, well, not built into, he put into the first thing on the rack. It's awesome. It's so cool. Like I feel so neat and tidy and professional and it's so sweet. He surprised me with that. So that was what I was doing Friday, putting all together. Was it Friday or Thursday? I can't remember. Thursday maybe. Or I can't. Never mind. So I was putting stuff together, and a Yeti. Yes. Uh, Tim- Timothy. Timothy, who are you? Do I know you by a different name? Tim. Tim? Are you Tim? Which Timothy are you? Are you one of the Tims from the podcasting world? How'd you know? How'd you know me? Timothy. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say your full name, but anyway, yeah, Timothy. That was a Yeti. I do have a Yeti. In fact, I don't know if you can see the Yeti stand is back here. If you can see, that's the Yeti stand right there. But I put it there because the bell of Ding the Bell is the one using that microphone whenever she's here doing a show. So she sits over there, and yeah. So anyway, okay, so Bruce surprised me with this thing for our anniversary, and what we did for our anniversary was every year we go back to. You did drop in the other day. Okay, sorry, I'm interacting with Timothy now. I think you were here. Didn't you were here when we were recording Ding the Bell, I think. That's right. So you must be a podcast listener. Do you listen to Ding the Bell? Do you listen to online? But anyway, I'm kind of cold. Oh, and you have a Yeti too. So you must be a podcaster of sort, right? Or why do you use Yeti? Anyway, interact with me. Talk to me. Um, so I was, we have this tradition, Bruce and I had this tradition. Every year on our anniversary, we go back to the Vietnamese restaurant where we had our first date, and we go back there and get our, the meals that we like from that restaurant. So we did that on Friday, and then there was something really funny. Oh, that day was weird because yeah, he came to pick me up at work, and then we went to the restaurant. Yeah. So, um, yes, with the young lady. Which young lady? With the young lady, Timothy. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So now I'm anxious. Now I'm curious to find. Your face looks familiar too. With the young lady. Okay. What do you do? What is your show about? Maybe are you a podcaster or are you a Google Hangout person? I do voiceovers. Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yes, with the young lady. Oh, you meant with the young lady. So my sequence is so off, Timothy. With a young. Oh, I'm gonna tell her. She's gonna love you so much. With a young lady. Yes, you were here when when I was doing the show for with Ding the Bell. Yes. Which, by the way, we've recorded and have not posted any show yet. No, I forgot to post it last week, and I'm gonna have to try to remember to post it this week. So yeah, okay, you do voiceover. All right, that's good. So we have the tradition, and went to the restaurant, and by the time we come back home, we're all so full, and for some reason, I ended up cleaning the toilet. I don't know why. How romantic are we? How romantic are we? We were, not we, but I was the one that ended up cleaning the toilet bowl. I started cracking up when I was cleaning the toilet, and then I realized, oh my gosh, how romantic we are on a our not Valentine's, but our anniversary, and I'm cleaning toilet. That's life. But then, then we have fun. Saturday we had I had sushi buffet, and there's this place in town called what is it called? Asian Palace. And what we do is we have uh, we at work we have this group who would go out to try new food, and we call it like 101. So like sushi 101 was this past weekend, and a group of us get together and find Asian food that people might want to try but may not have the courage to try it themselves, or may need something to may need somebody to uh, guide them or explain to them, for instance, like sushi. And so we went there and ate a bunch. It's all you can eat. Oh, so good. So much food, so delicious. And with great company too. Everybody was very adventurous, and so we ate quite a bit, and it was fun. And I enjoyed it immensely. So, yeah. So that's my weekend really. And then didn't do much today. Oh, okay, okay. So, one fun thing that I recently was involved in, which I'm kind of addicted to, and it's been going on for about a week now, is I went to not went, but a friend of mine contacted me about this group chat, which I don't know if many of you know about this. There's this thing called, well, you all know about WhatsApp. WhatsApp is pretty popular, and I know what WhatsApp is. But there's this thing called WeChat, which I've heard before, but I've never used. And apparently it's popular in Asia, and so many of my friends are gathering in this chat room of WeChat and started a group chat for all my primary school schoolmates. So primary school is, well, it's like grade school, right? There's primary and secondary school, and primary school is year one through year six, or we call it standard one through standard six. And so friends from way back then, and we all get together, and then we are chatting in there. And these are friends who, some faces you recognize, some faces you don't. But it really doesn't matter because everybody at this point was just having a blast talking about old stuff about teachers and all that. And this chat room would go on 24 hours because there's my time zone. There's not a lot of people in America yet, at least. I know there are a few of the classmates of ours in America, but they're not active in the chat. But most of them are in Asia. So hi Lana. Hi Lana Valerie. Lana Valerie's from Russia. She says hi. Hello Russia. Hello Lana. And so I got in touch with some of my friends. There are a few that I'm kind of familiar with, and there are some that I just sort of started talking to after I went back to Malaysia in September last year. So one of the guys, his name is Loy, and he started the chat room in WeChat. And one of my closer friend, who used to be a listener of Penang Hokkien as well, she contacted me and asked me if I wanted to be added to the group. So I did, and it was so much fun. I don't know if maybe not everybody, but those of us who are a little sentimental, not mental, sentimental, would really enjoy that conversation because it's really like a it's really like a chat about um, your past. And one thing that is, well, here's what the summary. The thing is fun, right? We always go in there and we joke and we laugh and all that. But one cool thing about that is what I realized was, well, several things. One, there were people who I thought was unwelcoming, like kind of cold to you, back in your school days, and people who might even be mean to you in school. Not that that's my case, but I'm just saying. And there were matters and things that happened that stuck with you, possibly scarred you, especially high school, that today, when you're 40 years old, looking back at things that were 33 years ago, it really is nothing anymore. And I think sometimes it's a good thing to be thinking about that when you have kids who are going through the rough time, school bullying and people say hurtful things and so forth, that that was everything to you, right, at the time. But then when you come to well, when you look back at those things like 33 years ago, it was nothing at all. And there were people whom I cannot relate to much because there aren't things in common. And when you're 10 years old, when you're 12 years old, things that you like, things that you have interest in are pretty much everything that you can have in common with other people. And those things are very limited. And so we don't have a lot of life experiences, so there aren't many things that we can all sit down, say, when we're 40 and talk about life. So there aren't a lot of things in common that we can have. So there's always this little divide, and especially as a gay kid, I I hang out with girls a little bit more, and I feel more comfortable with girls than I do with the very, very straight boys. And some of the ones the ones who initiated this conversation on the chat room and those who are active that we're talking to right now, many of those are the ones that I'm not comfortable with. Not their fault, and it was mostly myself. I just don't feel like I fit in. And it's not like in a very like pitiful way. It's just that I don't feel comfortable with them because the things that they like to play soccer, they like to play uh, basketball, they like to play rough, and things that they talk about are not the subjects that I enjoy talking. So I ended up talking and hang out more with girls, being a gay kid. And so that's why I have this disconnect with a few of the people that I talk to in the chat room right now. But nowadays, though, 33 years later, flashback, and I am, is it that, no, not that long ago, 33, maybe 20 something years. Oh, 33 is probably when we were in school. Yeah. Six, is it? Yeah. This is like 1981 through 1986. I don't know, I can't count. And so now that we are flashback to current days, 40 years old, looking back at all the classmates that I had nothing in common, but now the one thing that ties us together is the fact that we were classmates, we were schoolmates, and we were back in that same school together. And there's such a long period of time from when we graduated primary school to right now that a lot of those feelings of not being able to connect and not being able to relate is no longer significant because now everything we have our own lives and there's no competition anymore. There's nothing uh, intimidating and scary about it anymore. And but those feelings, however, though, they're like, oh my gosh, can I that feeling about, oh, I remember that guy, but I don't know if I have anything in common with him. And several that I talked to, and I enjoy immensely the conversations that we have in the chat room right now, are the ones that I couldn't relate to at all. And I bet they could say the same thing about me is that they have nothing in common with me. I act like a girl. They can't talk to me, or maybe they feel embarrassed. I don't know. But now they are all welcoming. I was very open and honest about my relationship with Bruce and all that, and everybody's cool with it. So it's it's nice to have that sort of connection back again. So that's one thing. And I think that it's really important. The two things that I got away from that was one, when you are um, when when you back then when you were in school, things were probably so serious and everything is so, everything that happened to you is the center of attention. It's so important and so crucial. And then flash to today, 40 years or 30 some years later, it's no big deal. And then second thing is the things that we all have in common is the fact that we were all in the same school. Now everybody's cool to each other. Everybody have their own lives, and yeah, it's quite nice. I quite enjoy it. So that was a little bit of um, my my old friends. So that's part. I'm looking at my tweet again. Okay. So another thing that is kind of special is that you can you can have good friends, you can have close friends and all that, but all the friends is something that comes with time. You cannot buy that. You have to wait. Like old friends, like oh my gosh, I can't believe I was in the same class as this person when I was 5, in the same kindergarten. In fact, many of my uh, uh, classmates, ex-classmates that I'm talking to right now in the chat room are were my kindergarten classmates. How cool is that, right? So, yeah. By the way, it's June now. I can't believe it. It's June now. Last month was May, which is the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So last month we celebrate me. Anyways, oh my gosh, what was that loud thing? Ooh, that was loud. That is the cue that I'm done with this podcast for this week. If you want to come back next week, maybe I'll do a show, maybe I'm not. But you can always subscribe to me, and then whenever there's a new show, you'll know about it. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can call. You can always call me 920-iPhone-1, 920-iPhone-1, or text me there as well. You can also tweet me. I love for you to tweet me at John Ong. Tweet me, and hopefully I'll come back and tell you more stories about my life next week. Don't forget to smile, bitches. Bye. Okay, whoever you are, thank you for listening and thank you for sticking around. One person who's listening. I want to make sure that I test this out. I can hear this. Can you hear it? Oh, that's really annoying. Okay, it's definitely coming from there. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little testing without you having to stay here and listening to that buzzing. So thank you, all of you. Bye. Oh, I'm gonna talk about. Oh, I forgot to talk about one thing, but that's fine. I'll talk about it next week if I do a show. All right, bye. Thank you for stopping by.